There ain't no life like the good life. Shaking hands, man to man, some suit saying he's got it in. Rubbing elbows with all the need to knows, where the girls are just as fine as the print. Ain't no love like the good love, ain't no fun like the good fight. I've been strung out, I've been clean, somewhere in between the dark and the light. There ain't no life like the good life.
All right, a little Alabama, actually Southern rock, Them Dirty Roses. Love that song. It's the good life. Calling with John, the OG. Good to see you, brother. Hope you are well. Just decided to go live 20 minutes ago. I just did a hike up to the waterfall. Let's see. I got a picture here. Let's see if I can find one for you here. I like to take pictures just because it reminds me that, well, I did it. There you go. See that waterfall right there in the back. Okay. So anyhow, appreciate everybody being here. We are live today. Lots of things happening. 5 days till Santa Claus comes. Start watching your TV shows. Start watching, let's see, I'll watch It's a Wonderful Life. I'll watch Christmas Vacation, Christmas Story. That's pretty much it. I like to watch It's a Wonderful Life. I think I talked about that in the last live stream. But anyhow, religious women. Speaking of religious women and Christmas and everything, I've been asked this multiple times, and I think a lot of creators have been asked this. The modern day woman, very rare that you're going to find. I say 98% of them are not recommended, but there is a 2% that are decent women, my sister being one of them. But what about Rad? What about the religious women that go to church every week, read the Bible, they do Bible studies and so forth? And Project, good to see you, brother. I'm like, you know what? It's definitely not a bad thing, but I know several religious women, my ex-wife being one of them, my other sister that was very religious, and multiple other religious women that hypergamy or monkey branched and left their husbands too, and then hid behind the good congregation, the good Bible, the good scripture to basically say that, her monkey branching was a result of him being not a good Christian man, something along those lines. So yeah, Christian women, religious women in general, depending on the religion, I don't think there's any different. They might have more of an understanding of God and potential scripture, but in the end, emotions trump everything. This is what we all have to remember. It doesn't matter what corner of the world you live in, what religion you abide to, what therapist you listen to, women are still prone to their emotions. Men are still prone to their logic. Men can decide as well what they want to do. Pete, good to see you. The religious women I dated post-divorce were by far the most sexually depraved by far. Well said. Even growing up, girls in my congregation, they were quite, let's say, not naive. They were quite experienced in certain parts of their anatomy. Tro, good to see you, brother. Female nature has been unleashed. The church doesn't keep them in line anymore. Shame does not exist. Well, the religion I'm in, they seem to kowtow and literally go very light-footed with the ladies. In other words, if there is a divorce happening, most likely it's the man's fault. That is how the brethren or the leadership or the pastor, whomever, bishop, is going to look at the situation. It's not the woman. The woman, remember, is a vessel of pure virginity, right? The Mary idea, the pure, innocent woman that is always being made to do things because of the man. We know that's very different. We know that's extremely different. It doesn't go that way. I don't trust any gal who says they are religious. My ex-wife was and still religious. Women are religious. As P. Diddy. There you go. Now, is that a bad thing for a woman to be religious? Depends how'd she grow up. Did she have a strong dad in the religion? Was her mother a strong woman in the? I mean, there are decent religious women. My sister is a very religious woman. She didn't go off the rails. She's still married to my youngest sister. She is 6 years younger than me, 47, right? So she is still very much in love with her husband or very committed, but it's very rare, very, very rare that you would find a religious woman like that. Bannox, good to see you, brother. Appreciate you being here. They have feminized the churches, just like the legal system. Now they bring rainbow. Truth, Trog, truth. Travis, good man. Travis, what's up, brother? Saying you're a good Christian woman and actually living it are two different lives. Well said. Most of them use God as a way out of their sins and mistakes. That is exactly a perfect comment right there, because they can say they're Christian, but that doesn't mean they're actually living a Christian life. Right? Results, good to see you, brother. Pete says Catholic women are crazy in bed. Now, here's the thing about Catholicism. I think it's been within the last decade and a half where they allowed divorce, but they didn't used to allow divorce. If you got married in the Catholic Church and went through the whole instruction and the training and with the priest, I think it took I went to my buddy's wedding 25 years ago, and we went through that Catholic marriage ceremony. God, it was like 2 hours long, but apparently he spent 18 months studying with his fiance and the pastor about the religious implications of his Catholic marriage. To get divorced because you are unhappy would mean excommunication. So a lot of Catholic people, they might have been stepping out on their spouses, but they never divorced because they did not want to lose their membership or their standing within the Catholic Church. I got a buddy, he won't divorce his wife, but he plays on the side. He does not want to be banished from his religion, but they find other ways, folks. They find other ways. Church religious women are total nut jobs, huge red flag. Yeah, I mean, they hide behind the good book. They hide behind the Christian foundation. And again, if they do something that's outside of, okay, so if a man commits, let's say, adultery, what happens? He's banished, he's excommunicated, he's labeled a pariah. But if a woman does that, and I've seen this in my own religion, John, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I've seen in my own religion, they stand behind that woman as if her choice or decision to step out on her husband was justified because she was married to a very abusive and controlling and abusive husband. It doesn't work that way. Mars, good to see you. I have a question. This may be off topic, but what are your thoughts on blank blank having children through adoption? No, I'm not a fan of it. I am not a fan of that. No way. No way, Jose. Women, if you're going to have a kid, you better have a father and a mother and in the same house, in a marriage, potentially. Do it right. Get a brisket on the smoker, attaboy. I just finished a nice hike up the mountain. For you guys that didn't see it, I'll show you my quick picture here. There you go, right there, the waterfall. Early morning, wet. But I do it every week. Even though it was raining and wet, I still did it. It's just something I do. And I just came home after a 24-hour fast and ate some eggs and cheese and some bread that I made. I made some homemade rustic bread in a Dutch oven. Yes, I do. I dated a Jehovah's Witness. She was a psycho and was all about the bedroom fun, then could turn on a dime. Geez, I mean, I've known some J-dubs, Trog. They're a different type of person. Let's just think that. The churches are so weak now, they have no control over women's behavior. Well said, Pete. That is 100% truth. Well, they're too scared. They don't want to lose their tithing or their donations if they go off on a woman. Remember, they will get behind a woman and her iniquity. In Spanish, I used to iniquidades, which means iniquity. Iniquity means sin, right? But they would get behind the sin or they would defend the woman from her sin because the man was responsible for her unhappiness. Again, another way for them not to take accountability or responsibility. Now, you could have a different experience within religion with with people in your women in your congregation. But for the most part, even post-divorce, I have been with multiple religious women that were born in the religion, that got married in the religion, that raised their kids, and they were as promiscuous as Jenna Jameson in 9th grade. Women in degrees use whatever to to prop up their poon and play the victim. Attaboy Project. Good to see. Yeah, absolutely. Gerard Markel, those 304s of the church are all working for the state. The church is the final form for a 304. I'm now celibate, now have found Jesus. Praise the Lord. Brad, I'm catching alive. Good to see you, Mighty and Strong. He's in New York now. Mighty and Strong's in New York. Good to see you. They shake that ass on Saturday nights and praise the Lord on Sunday morning. Ain't that the truth? They do it in all religions too. Bannox, I'm getting involved with a woman. It's only for pleasure, nothing more, nothing else. Most women are destroyers of their inner peace and freedom. Well, as long as you understand what you're getting involved with, nothing wrong with playing if it's mutual. No, that's what men have to understand. Don't get involved with your emotional state. Get involved and be very safe physically and financially. Reverend Porkchop and Deacon Bacon are all pulpit pimps and care about money. Church is not about bringing people to the Lord. It's about paying their bills. You gonna pay my bills? Church is a business. It is. It's a business. Brad, thank you for your answer. I thought the same thing. I said that because I know a female who not only married her female lover, but I am of the opinion that a masculine man and a feminine woman have kids. If you're not a feminine man or a masculine man or a feminine woman, you should not have kids. And you should raise them where the man teaches the kids structure. I'm old school, Mars. None of this new weird relationships and thruples and poly whatever weird. They just come up with stupid shit. At the end of the day, they're just labeling iniquity in ways that make them feel better. Those fallen women expect you to pick them up on the floor and put them on a pedestal. Praise the Lord. Put her up. She is a vessel of pure innocence. Woo! Praise the Lord. Biggest trap for a male is to believe a religious female is any different than a Bless Gregory, the Red Guru, Red Pill Men's Health. I mean, he was hardcore Catholic, and he got remarried after his channel of 30,000 Red Pill and teaching Red Pill and coaching and consulting, and he married a single mom that was Catholic, and I think that his religion preyed upon him to marry that woman. And now he's got his third marriage. Well, he was married one and then was engaged, had a kid, and now he's taking on a new one. But, wish him well. You won't catch me in that trap. The most dangerous, the born-again Christian or the gal who switches religions and plays reborn virgin. I've heard about these women that they're reborn-again virgins. It's like, really? I mean, what sort of delusion does one have to go through to believe that they're a reborn virgin after 5-6 years of complete debauchery? So no one looks at the bodies and debt they hide behind decades. Yeah, a lot of them make the worst choices. The 9-Hard Divorce Court me abrió los ojos a mí también. If you guys have not seen Divorce Court, watch that. Good to see you. Tell me where you are from. De donde eres? Okay, Timmy Kramer. Good to see you, brother. Timmy down in Arizona, keeping it real. If the sun's out, the gun's out, right, Timmy? Rad, your preacher board makes me want to watch Pulp Fiction. Praise the Lord. The red hot revival. A 304 using the I'm looking for a religious man who fears God, or when will God bring me my husband? Run away. Absolutely. I think that's a red flag. I think women that hide behind the Bible, massive red flag. Bonnie Blue is a Catholic. No, go figure. A prawn star who is effing 1,000 men in a day, arrested in Bali for public blank. Good for them. Good for the people in Bali for not allowing that debauchery. Again, hiding behind their foundation. How does that work? You're Christian, but yet you're doing non-Christian activities in public places and not following what you should be, which is an innocent vessel of the loud. The Revster in the chat, Rad, should I find a nice gordita? Yes. Rev, I got a gordita. Her name is Luisa Rodriguez. I hiked that waterfall today. Me and Rev hiked that waterfall. I did it again. 42nd time this year, folks. 42nd. Good to see Rev. He's in Colorado. You know he's going to be at Bento's, which is a Mexican restaurant where he lives. He's looking for La Gordita. Especially, she's got to be 200 pounds, 4'10". She's got to have no eyebrows, painted on eyebrows, big hoops, tons of makeup, and box like a. Rev loves the square refrigerators. He loves them gorditas. Good to see our brother Rev. If you're in town, let me know. Does the hymen grow back? Apparently, they do surgeries to re-virginize them. I've heard that. I agree as well. What is shocking to me is that I heard that blank relationships and marriages are worse than other marriages, especially when it comes to, yeah, they're the number one. Lesbian marriages have the number one divorce rate. I wonder why. Bannox, forgive me, Father, I have simped. We're all reformed simps, that's for sure. We all worshipped at the Church of Simp at one point in our lives. FJT, good to see our brother FJT. The title is the truth. I dated some church-going, Bible-thumping women. They told me they weren't like that. I found out later they were indeed like that in secret. Oh, yeah. FJT, laying it down to Chinatown. Good to see you, brother. What language are you learning this week? Check out, guys, go to FJT's channel. Listen to his legit voicemail from women across the world, leaving him delusional messages. Good stuff for our young MGTOW brother. Don't be Andrew Wilson, whose wife has 3 children from 3 different baby daddies, and asks, well, I'm not doing a good Christian thing by taking care of a woman whose husband abandoned them. Stay away. Woman is fickle like a feather in the wind. She changes her voice and her mind, always sweet, pretty face and tears, or together she's always lying, always miserable. Lyrics from an 1851 opera. Interesting, Charlie. Interesting. You know, we're not bashing women. We're just saying that religious women aren't all what they say they are. I've been with religious women that are as debaucherous as Jenna Jameson in 9th grade after prom. The Brian Tucker, all the way from Clearwater, Florida. Welcome, brother. Hope you are well. Appreciate you being here. Guys, this is why chats work and streams work. It's the participation. It's the sharing of everything that all of us have gone through. You know, I wouldn't be here without Big John, Barbarossa, even Sandman, Hammerhand back in the day. So appreciate Mr. Brian Tucker being here. Mouth agape, riding his enduro sport. Good to see you, brother. RW in the chat. Good to see you. So the reality is this. Women, again, for those that are listening first, we do not hate women. We understand that women are different than men, have their own nature. And I don't recommend 98% of them. There is a 1% to 2% that are decent women. I have met them. My sister is one of them. My sister-in-law is another. But women still have female nature, 100% of them, as male have male nature. So one must understand your nature and the opposite sex's nature. I don't think we will ever, as men, truly, truly understand women because we're not women. We can at least be guided to not make very dangerous decisions when it comes to wifing a woman up, having kids with a woman, taking on a woman's kids from another man, and so forth. Even my brother did some ungodly things to the pastor's daughter. Everyone at church called her in the wall. I remember throwing down in high school with the bishop's daughter, and she was more experienced than Radster. Carl, Jimmy Dore is a banger of a video on Erica Kirk, and she lies. She's skating about her past. I'm not a fan, Carl, of Erica Kirk. Something's weird about her. I agree. I think I saw that. Jimmy Dore is cool. Been a couple of weeks since my ex tried to get me swatted as a deletion risk. I'm a little pit. They all try. They all try, Trog. Seraphim, trustful women is an oxymoron. Good to see our brother Seraphim in the chat. The reason why I brought up the blank topic, because the female in particular was my childhood crush. She wanted to help me out on a certain thing, but I passed on the offer. Maybe you dodged a bullet. She would have left you anyways. I mean, right now, the trend, especially where I live in Salt Lake, there are lots of women who are married 20 years, 5 kids. They're divorcing their husbands and getting with and marrying other women. Like, and they look very normal. They have the lips, they have the fake bolt-ons, you name it. It's weird. It's real. There's something in the water. There's something in these head meds that's turning women Skittles. Sad thing is, males have created, sustained, and supported a system that devalues and abuses males. Absolutely. We're part of it. This didn't happen overnight. There were men in black robes that passed laws to help destroy men. The popo that comes to your house because the lady called, he's not defending you. He's defending her on a false alligator. Good to see FJT living a life. Young kid, paid his house off, knows 6 languages, plays guitar, travels the world, and is living this. Teach us all something. If any of you men get married and she don't take your last name and wants to keep her last name, oh yeah, any woman that doesn't take a last name, it's only a matter of time. She runs you. In that regard, she runs you. I was attracted to women back in the day. Many times I saw women with their mom look at me like they'd leave him in a heartbeat. A lot of women out there not wearing their wedding rings. Churches, gyms, not schools, are the new nightclubs for delusional women. Well said. Especially gyms, Banex. Women, it's desperation times for them. Oh, yeah. We're all reformed simps, and we never forget better to understand what women are than love them. Poon never made any men better. Trust no woman. A man that does is still living on a plantation. Couldn't agree more. Char, good to see you, brother. Char from Deutschland. Ich bin steif. Du bist schlampa. I'm airbrushing some sexy Latina gangsters today. No gorditas. Attaboy. Send me a picture, brother. I think my ex got rid of my name. I'm pretty sure. After 20 years. That's the ultimate. I hate men. Rad, my female neighbor was overhearing you and just wanted to know, who hurt you? Oh, I'm so hurt, Carl. Carl, by the way, I don't know if you know, but my house is under contract, so I'm supposed to close January 28th. Finally, I got what I wanted, though. Overly religious females are just screaming, I'm a 304. I'm in debt. I need a man to give me money. Most women out there, there are very few that are seeking a man's heart and a man. They're seeking his wallet and his protection and his attention. I remember throughout my years, I used to think fear was holding me back when dealing with females, but it was so much deeper. It was my discernment that saved me. Attaboy. Brad, you're selling my house. I know. I got a good deal on it, though. I actually got what I wanted. Very happy. Because males have a mom, sister, or aunt. These males believe standing up for themselves against abuse is somehow disrespectful of their female family members. Well said. I mean, look, pretty much 95% of all of my elementary and school teachers were women. Sunday school teachers were women. My dad worked outside the home, so my mom was there to get us off to school. And as we came home from school, I have 3 sisters. You know, the women in the neighborhood all stayed home because their man work. So we had a lot of female influence. Unlike 100 years ago, where the boys left 6th grade and went to work in the fields with very masculine men with calloused hands and strength like nobody's business. That's how masculinity lasted until, well, the factories came after World War II, basically. Wasn't long ago a family would give you stuff in a dowry for taking their daughter off their hands. How times have changed. Ain't that the truth, Tro? Rad men, women only use religion as a way to keep in connection to men. It's just, again, another bucket, another pipeline of men. If you're in sales, pipeline means prospects or potential leads. That's all it is. Gyms were one thing. It's the worst part. If you go to a gym and hit on if a man goes to a gym and hits on a woman, he's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. That is got to be the worst place to meet a woman. She's already there for attention. She's already got her phone on. And people say to me, and I had this discussion in Mexico 2 weeks ago with a guy. If you want to go and meet a woman, I would say Western women are going to be very difficult to find. There are some out there, but it's very rare. You need to go to Mexico or a Latin American country, or even maybe a poor European country. I would not go to Switzerland or Austria or Poland or any of that first world. Let's just say Guatemala. You're going to go to Guatemala. You're going to move to Guatemala. You're going to move to Antigua. Let's say you moved right outside of Guatemala City. 15 miles, Antigua. It's an old historical place. There's some areas. And you're going to spend every week for 6 months, going to the Catholic Mass. And then you're going to drink coffee at the same coffee shop and eat at the same local restaurant. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find someone that goes to the same church and does the same thing and wants to meet you. And then maybe you'll have a chance. But then again, you're dealing with female nature. When the 2 week notice is going to be given well, the first step was to sell the house. So then I'm going to tie up some stuff here. I probably won't be out till the summer. That's what I'm thinking. Need about 3 to 4 months to get things situated. Timmy Kramer, Merry Christmas to Uncle Bill. Tell him Timmy at 42 years ago not to marry. And how did it help him in the last 42 years? Quite substantially, folks. One of the original MGTOWs, Timmy Kramer. You're from West Deutschland. Is that the Black Forest? Men only gym spaces. There used to be Cuts for Men. Do you remember Cuts for Men? In fact, 90% of the gym goers, 15, 20 years ago were men. And then it's just been saturated by, the Kardashians told the women to go to gyms. I don't know. I noticed a huge difference with females in school back in the day. They were more friendly and flirty. Yes, complete opposite now. How times have changed, especially in the dating world. Of course. I mean, back when I grew up, I did a live stream on the fact that girls in high school in the 80s you could have a girlfriend. You could have all of the things you wanted. There were a lot of couples when I grew up in high school that went like 3 years in high school as girlfriend and boyfriend. There are no phones. There's no social media. If anything, guys simp by writing long notes to their girls, and the girls would write long notes back. I had a girlfriend every Friday get on the bus at 2 when I was a sophomore, 9th grade, and she'd write me a note that was literally 30 pages long. I'd read it all weekend, and I'd have 72 hours to miss her. And then I'd see her on Monday, and I had written her a note. Boy, have times changed. Many religious women swear vows like forever, sickness, poverty. That means nothing anymore. In front of God, and then treat marriage like a contract. They cancel the moment it stops benefiting them. Of course, women reserve the right to change their mind at any time, regardless. Shaka, good to see our brother Shaka. What's up, brother? How is the Mr. Shaka? Check out his channel as well. There used to be, I don't think, male spaces, again, there used to be a place called Cuts for Men. Curves for women, Cuts for Men. I think that went under, though. Women cannot handle not having the male gaze. Social media really shows this. The Uggies turn the lack of gaze into a hatred of men. If men don't see women, we don't care that much. Yeah, it's all about attention. It's all about attention. Shaka doing a live stream later. Attaboy. Women seek attention. That's their currency. Attention is their currency, which is fine. We understand it. We're not bashing women. Women are women. It's as simple as that. You're never going to change it by buying them something, by giving them everything, by giving your heart. How many men have tried that? Just work on yourself. Be the strongest man you can in your mind, in your finances, in your spirituality, in your emotions. Learn how to control your emotions. Most don't know this, but church is all an act, and they have what I call huddle-ups before. Of course they do, Jerome Markel. I know a chick that wants to borrow your guitar. On the one hand, I'm glad I grew up in the 80s and dated in the 90s. Yeah, me too. But in a way, jealous of the knowledge young men have about female Asia red flags. Yeah, we didn't have that. But then again, women's behavior was much different. Much different. We can all go back. I think people say social media, cell phones. Cell phones most likely, well, especially smartphones and when texting came out. But I think truly reality television is what did it, which started it. Actually, TV dinners in the 50s, if you want to think about it, started it. Now the notes females write are, I'm leaving you notes, and males write SOS to whoever will listen. Well said, Mighty. There was a place here in Vegas called American Mill that catered to men. It's gone now. Yeah. I think gyms are in business because of the diverse, the mixed sexes of both men and women. Careful with the gym, ladies. Y'all can do what you want, but I don't recommend it. Me neither. You might do something crazy. Oh, yeah. And they have gym boyfriends and gym girlfriends. I see it all the time. My ex left notes for me all over the house, wrote on walls. Now that we're divorcing, it's just a reminder of how fleeting their love. Oh, yeah. I showed my boys the other day because I'm packing some stuff up. I found all these birthday cards, anniversary cards, and it was like these long messages, how much she loved me, how much of a great father I was. She was so excited to be married to me after 10 years, even up to like the day 2 months before we divorced. It's fleeting, isn't it, Trog? Their behavior was just more hidden. I agree with that. Absolutely. If you were in the military, you most definitely saw it. That's probably the original hypergamous monkey branchers with the Marine or the military guys back in the day. Well said, Shaka. It was always prevalent. Female nature has always been there since day one with Eve or whomever was the original woman. It was just dormant and hidden, as Shaka says. Holy Ghost time was the time to really pour the act on thick, more tithes and offering. If there's a guest pastor, the more yelling and getting the blacks riled up emotionally. The red hot revival. Praise the Lord. Jesus tells us. I do want to go to a black Baptist. I would love to attend just to feel the energy. Like somewhere in like Alabama, Mississippi, just there's music. There's just this, I would just love to attend. I wonder if I could attend. I wonder if they allow white guys in there. But I think it would be a very interesting experience, to see, because I know, a lot of the Baptists that back down, the evangelicals, Pentecostals, those guys, they're hardcore religious, especially the men. But when it comes to the woman, remember, the woman changes her mind in any case, she reserves the right to change her mind. Controlling your emotions is key. Another reason why my discernment saved me, because when I was young, I had anger issues, so I knew I had to stand back and work on self. You had a good dad, Brother Mars. There's FJT's channel. Put up Shaka's channel too. Pimps in the pulpit. Whatever woman tells you, including wedding vows, add the caveat right now. Well, you know what's interesting? They are pimps in the pulpit. Look at Jimmy Swaggart. He cheated on his lady. Look at that guy, Ted Haggerty in Colorado. He actually went Skittles with some dude. He was a pastor. Didn't Benny, that little Benny guy, didn't he cheat on his lady? Didn't, who's the other guy? Jim and Tammy Baker, didn't he cheat on her? Power corrupts. Praise the Lord, the red hot revival. Jesus is coming. Hide, make fig leaves. Black government officials or even Mike Obama that go all preacher when they're caught doing bad stuff for talking down to us. Anybody can do the preacher voice. Pastors pimping out their female churchgoers. There you go. Baptists are hardcore actors and project all those nasty single mothers having baby after baby. True. The 700 Club. Who was that guy? That old school guy. He died. I think he died a couple years ago. He said some weird things, didn't he? The guy who told his ushers to close the door. There you go. Jimmy Swaggart. Remember when he cried in front of the world? Forgive me, I've sinned. Robert Duvall did that movie, was it The Apostle? He was a preacher. I think he had an affair in that movie. Take away all their sex appeal and fake love, religious women, BS. Gals only use God to poon trap guys. Poon trap. Love it. Young and old, all looking for son husbands. Pitiful how soft we are. A woman is very, very clever, very knows how to make a man lose. So did Delilah with Samson. So did Eve with Adam. Women are very good using their charm, their body, and their voice to get men to do what they want. Selling holy water was bananas. Attaboy. Robertson, Pat Robertson, that's him. I was a church musician for 15 years and could have had several escapades with Mary. There you go. There you go, says RB. Good to see you, brother. Benny Him. Oh, that dude was a huge scammer. Any wonder why women are more drawn to charismatic leaders like Pastor? I don't know, because they get attention, because they have status. It's got to be. They got status. And then people, they're on the pedestal, right? Women look at them as people on the pedestal. Now they're just replaced. Well, look at the politicians, same thing, right? Status, power. Swagger always saying, pimps up, hoes down. Oh, Rev, I got a gordita. I was just thinking about this gordita I work with. You got to meet her. She lives in Dallas. Did you see the interview with Kenneth Copeland where he justifies God telling him he needed a new jet because he didn't want to be? I did. I saw a clip of that. What an interesting dude. God told him to buy a new jet. God didn't tell him to do shit. Marvin Sapp was the one who closed all the doors asking for money. Robert Tilton used to sell holy water. There you go. There's tons of them. Pat Robertson, Joel Osteen, all simps for God and helping men remain simps, thinking God will bring men good women, more like good trash. Again, there's a 1% to 2% of women that are decent in the world. That's it. 98% no recommended, not worth it. Find one, good for you. I still will not recommend marriage, cohabitation, living together, taking on their kids, taking on their bills, having kids. Have your own place in your own life. Throw down and do it again next week. Charisma is having the ability to galvanize the crowd. There you go. There's an energy in these congregations with these women. I wonder if women get all tingly up there and downstairs. You know what I'm saying? And it's also it's also a fashion show, right? Women go to church to show off to other women their new high heels, their new dresses. I'd see that in our congregation growing up. These women would try to outdo each other. It's a fashion show and it's high school. Remember this, word of advice. Everything after high school is still high school. Your neighborhood. The kids that, if you have kids and they play in sports, the other parents, high school. Everybody competes against you. High school you're always in high school. The competitive nature of life. I remember that. He wouldn't let him out, right? In the Bible, Adam's first wife, Lilith, would not submit, was argumentative. Well said, Brian. That's actually Jewish folklore. It's not in the Bible anywhere. It's in the, it's outside of the Bible, but you're absolutely right. Lilith was his first wife. She would not submit to Adam. But yes. Thanks for bringing that up. I miss Ernest. I used to think it was in the Bible, but it's in a different text. I miss Ernest Angley. He was on Entertaining character, evil spirits come out. What about Reverend Ike? The Black Reverend, Reverend Ike. I'll have to look David E. Taylor up. There you go. I hate to say it, but many married women are so easy. Yes, they are. I knew a guy who was engaged and then he ran through so many married women. Dangerous to do, but had a lot of crazy stories. Funny. Kenneth Copeland. Another one for Kenneth Copeland. 1% of women are great, just like Rollo and Donovan Sharp, willing to marry a dwindling piece of SMV I call the aging woman. I can't believe that Donovan Sharp and that gal he's with. That dude's weird. I saw that interview. He said he doesn't like to travel domestic because of all of the devils on the plane. Oh, geez. Of course, they have to do something. Timmy says, big love. I've seen that a few times. Polygamists. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon them. The red hot revival. Jesus is coming. Hide! Joel Osteen, another one. There you go. Necesito volver a la iglesia. ¿Por qué? They say there was another girl before Eve, after Lilith. Interesting. They say God just threw away. They don't talk about it. Interesting. I wouldn't know who that was. We should find that out. I knew about Lilith. During that interview, I swear you could see a demon inside him. He looks like he's got something inside of him. He looks possessed. Brian Tucker said Adam was the first divorced man. Well, apparently Lilith was his first wife, and she did not submit. What does that tell you? Let's just say they were the beginning of humanity. And if the first man couldn't keep a wife, what makes you think that any other man could? Donovan Sharp. That's funny. The thing about Donovan Sharp, he's just a very untrusting dude. I don't know. There's something weird about it. I mean, yes, there are people that have got to him about female nature, which, again, should you shoot the messenger? But man, weird dude. Weird guy. That's all I'll say. Maybe he thinks I'm weird. I never said that, and don't tell anyone I ever did. There you go. Didn't Donovan lie about not being married or being? Yes. Well, a lot of guys have done. I mean, he says that he can get young poon, but his lady's in her 50s. Like, dude, number one, you're this athletic black guy that never had kids. You should be nailing 20-year-olds. That's just me. That's what I would think. Like the Greg Adams style. It's in the book of Enoch. There you go. See, I knew it was in a different text. Thanks, Seraphim. Adam was the first blue pill. The first simp in history, going back. So yeah, simp. Some people go, I was an alpha when I was born. No, you weren't. You don't learn to be out. You if you had an alpha dad, he had to learn it from somebody. And it's a programming thing, right? You're just not born alpha. It's an influence from, the experience and the atmosphere that you're living in. And I don't think anyone's truly 100% alpha. Good to see our brother Sammy all the way from Nicaragua to Chicago. Edwin lied about it for a long time. Yes. He sure did, Jerron. Adam didn't put up with that nonsense. No, he didn't. Adam to Eve. Isn't it great? We live in paradise and want for nothing. Eve, yes, but it's not enough. I don't think she was happy either. I mean, is it female nature that a lot of them can't be happy? I mean, there's male nature too that men need to work on themselves too, emotionally, physically, mentally. They need to be strong. I just saw another news article where a man deleted his wife. She was leaving him, and then he deleted himself. He couldn't handle the fact. He didn't understand female nature. Rev, he was the original simp. That dickhead, along with all the other blue pill ragers, are in liars, and dudes soaked it up. So I transformed into black pill Jesus. There you go, attaboy. I just checked orbits. Vuelos a Latin America are nicely discounted for Latin America. Interesting. How much are they? Being a young Christian, it feels like dating, and the courting process is just really a humiliation ritual for a guy. Sure, it feels emasculating, especially from the MGTOW. Yeah, once you look through that, RW, you begin to see it just like that. Sharp speaks so sharply about avoiding single mother, but he took her on. Walk the walk or talk the talk, but doesn't walk the walk, right? My dad ran a tight ship too. God couldn't create females, so he took the rib. Beware of the grifter. He's definitely a grifter. Women are very difficult to make happy. I don't know. Maybe that's just the way they're biologically wired. Who knows? 300 a round trip. That's cheap, brother. No female is ever satisfied, so males need to stop trying hard to please them. Well said. I wish men would know that. Dios es bueno, which means God is good. Says Denard. I will only give myself to the female named Sydney Sweeney. Ooh. I wouldn't kick her out for eating crackers in bed. CGA is another Fulio, no better than Rolo. Well, CGA used to be really good in the beginning, but then I respect the fact that he actually calls it a business. So even though I used to listen to him a lot, he was very funny. He had very knowledgeable about divorce, female nature. I think his audience caters to younger men that want to smash and that pay him money. It'll probably lead to a Kevin Samuels type of deal. I don't dislike Greg. I think Greg's got some good stuff, but I just think his audience and our audience are not the same. His message is different now. He's tailored his message, and he's been honest about it. So you can't fault the guy for following a business model that he's honest about. He's not pulling some bullshit saying he's MGTOW, but he's nailing junior college chicks. He actually says it. So you got to respect a guy that walks his walk and talks his talk. Is it the same audience? No. He's got some good talking points. Tom Brady gets divorced too. There you go. John Boston, the legendary John, good to see you, brother. I can't believe. Well, he probably wanted to trade in for a younger model. Nicole Kidman, I still think she's attractive. Shaka's never listened to Greg Adams. I don't think he'd like him. I had to stop watching Coach Greg. His ego's got, yes. When in the beginning, he was great. Some good stuff. And his ego, I'm guaranteeing that dude makes 1,000 to 2,000 in donations every live stream. And he does 2 a day. Good for him. Lilith and Eve were frustrated because they couldn't monkey Jane from the get-go. RB. Bingo. Yeah, I haven't listened to CJ for a while, literally probably 2 years. Very empty lifestyle. I want to say that. He's all about making money, buying trucks, To me, that's just, I don't care about things anymore. I care about experiences. Shaka, his favorite YouTube. Someone put Shaka's channel up. Honestly, for me, CJ is a has-been, Hammer is now, but Fuentes is the future. There you go. Sydney Sweeney is nice to look at, but she is a hoe too. Yes. Again, I'd take her for a weekend somewhere. She has no tats. Yeah. She's got a nice rack too. He stole all those so-called talking points. Most likely. I just saw a meme about women are for rent. Only you and you can think the family courts. Yeah, really. If you think about it, you're just renting your wife. That lease is going to come up someday. That landlord who's the court is going to come after you and kick you out. I think CJ is a disingenuous because sex and female value. Yes, I think the thing I think about what really got me not to listen to him anymore is how much he sought the validation of material things and women at junior college. His mind was still focused heavily on getting women. I'm not opposed. I'm not a monk, but that's all he talked about a lot of the times. I used to listen to CJ, but now he talks very bad about blacks. Can't listen to this anymore. Karl Heinz Schmidt, good to see you, brother. So she has no tattoos. What's that mean? She's a so-called no. Well, she's a celebrity, so she gets attention. Again, I find, my celebrity crush in high school was Ashley Judd. Oh, I thought she was hot. And Mary Stuart Masterson. And then I was in love with Scarlett Johansson for a while. I thought she was the most attractive of them. Now she's washed up. Rev says people in the space for money, and there are people here who truly just want to help. Well said. Everybody needs to go subscribe to Rev's channel because he got deleted too, which was so weird. Kevin still sold marriage and passed away. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not going to fault Kevin Samuels or Greg. They do bring people to the space, and maybe it's just a first step for them, and maybe they'll find someone else down the road that'll like be more red pill. You're not a comic dude with hammer. Rent and then lease. There you go. Kevin Samuels died with a prostate. Didn't know. I know he died. Didn't he die of a heart attack? Shaka says monks are BS. You got to be safe if you're not a monk. Judd is a psycho. There you go. Absolutely. Now she is. You can read all the Rollo books and a few channels, and that's all you need to know about women. By the way, never tell a woman you follow any of Rollo's books or men's channels. Pretend you're just a guy. Correct. Well said, John. I used to watch CGA as well and even heavily promoted him, but I can't anymore to the constant promotion of the tricking off of the bottom of the barrel Solus tree. Yes. Again, he's changed his message quite a bit. 1, 2, 3 smashes and you're done. Well said. Peace, quiet, freedom. Listen, after the third smash, you know what you're getting for the rest. Simple as that. The first smash is great. It's that first dopamine and finding out what's under the hood. But after the second, third smash, you're done. The last form is, I found Jesus. Going south with Jack Nicholson and Mary. Oh, I thought Mary Stuart Masterson. She was my crush in that 80s movie, Some Kind of Wonderful, back when I saw it in high school. I always thought she was attractive. I was wondering if Samuels was a jab. Probably. I mean, he looked like he was a healthy guy. My friend's wife is cheating on him with a rich guy. He's trying to win her back. Oh, best thing he can do is shut his mouth and walk. But never take a cheater back, ever. I'll be back in some form next year. Probably going to create a throwaway channel in case it gets deleted. Attaboy. We will subscribe to Rev's channel. He had to change the message. If you want to bank, let's be honest. Sure. Again, I'm not faulting the guy. At least he's honest. It's a business for him. He's telling men what they want to hear. A lot of men that go to his channel, it bothers you too. A lot of guys that go to his channel still understand the red pill, but they still want to be part of the game. So Greg gives them advice, and they pay for it. Well, good for him. It's just not my cup of tea anymore. None of them really speak on MGTOW. Well said, Shaka. Shaka thinks Kevin was gay. Interesting. Well, he definitely was metro. I've had a few women tell me they watch Pearl and that she's right about women. A lot of guys. Someone was telling me that the other day. My friend is 63 years old. He's like, I was watching this blonde girl. She's really smart with women. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to fault the gal for talking about men's issues, but she's still a woman. I don't subscribe to her. But if it gets to a man to rethink female nature, so be it. Again, different messages, different messengers. If it gets men to be better people, be a better man, seek peace, quiet, and freedom, understand female nature and understand male nature so that he can live a prosperous life emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, then great. Rev's channel, it used to be Reverend 20 Piece. Dwayne Custer, 1026. Good to see you. Trogue, lots of healthy people die anyways. Most, I think, are blank victims. Yeah, I agree. Ooh, Shaka, laying it down. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all about Kevin Samuels. A man that is that involved in fashion it walks on a different side of the line than I do. Just saying. Darius MGTOW. I remember Darius MGTOW. He changed it back when the purge happened. Definitely Metro and loves shoes and glasses. Yes. Rest in peace. I mean, he brought a lot of people. He brought at least some understanding. Can't fault him for that. In fact, somebody came to our channel one. Rad, check out a video from Pearl on her black pill on women. It's sick how on point she is. Well, she's still, I don't think she's got a guy, right? Sarah Eaton is another one. Pearl is more database. Pearl knows she is mid at best. She's got that red carpet below, that's for sure. All female male advocates are grifters, says Mr. Brandon Trueblood. Good to see BT. He's going to be doing some sort of food live stream tonight. Good to see you, Brandon. Pearl admits what she is. Well, there you go. Same with that East of Eden chick, but I don't subscribe to any of them. I beg to differ. MGTOW and Monk is a real thing. That's all right. I like Pearl, but she's a grifter. There you go. People knew him and said he was. Yeah, I won't deny that. I mean, he definitely came off, he definitely had that flair to him. An image consultant. There you go. I think Pearl's okay. YouTube leaves her alone for now, kind of like Kevin Samuels. They both helped the space. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that have helped the space. Even Richard Cooper. You might not like the guy, but he does bring people in. I mean, there was a guy that came to my channel a couple years ago who said he watched Kevin Samuels, and somehow my video popped up. You know, it is what it is. She went black, says BBBB. Good to see you. Brother Pearl, bro, Pearl is a grifter. I agree. Guys, for some reason, guys love to hear Pearl and all the women. Remember NOLA Girl back then? 5-6 years, no, 7 years ago. NOLA Girl back in New Orleans. She was one of the originals. Kevin Samuels used to go after women who lived a man who could dress well, who's kind of women you can get quickly if you look the part. Okay. Mr. John, buffalo chicken, jalapeno peppers tonight. Love it. I like Sarah Eaton, but again, she don't care about men's health and need. Well, women can talk all they want about men and women, especially men, but they're not men. They're women, still emotionally based. I don't trust Pearl. Yeah, me neither. I don't watch them. I like Cooper. I've watched a few of Cooper's lately. And he's still reiterating single mothers, divorced women, older women, what men should look for. But he charges $1,200 an hour. You can't control your biology. Well, I mean, you can. I think that's always going to be a challenge with most men. They're all grifters. Thousands of Simpson Pearl's comment section ready to marry her. Yep. She didn't marry any of them. She promotes marriage, but why is she still unmarried? She knows that a woman's fertility is just as good up to about 28 for actually 18 to 24. She's getting up there. Rolla is more dishonest. Well, here's where I think any guy that's promoting courses and consults, people that seek out money. Now, if you want to donate to a creator, I have no problem with that. But guys that seek constantly donations, if you don't hit likes, I'm not about that. I've never asked for 1 cent. I don't want your cents. I want your money to go to you, to fix you, to make your life better. I don't need your fucking money. Women make more off the subject than men. They do. A lot of simps in the comment section. Rad, have you considered they stay us for a while, then they graduate and go hardcore black pill? Sure. She has a black boyfriend and both voted for Trump. Yes, she does. There you go. I sent Cooper's video to liberal guys and they didn't like him. I said, that's why you're single, you libtards. Brittany Vent roasted Pearl. Didn't see that. It's a business. Yeah, Rich Cooper knows it's a business. The yellow card and the red card. Interesting. I think I saw that. I would say watch the creators that you like. Don't waste your time with those. If a creator brings value to you, makes your life move toward peace, quiet, and freedom, great. Cooper charges a lot. I mean, he's got balls and people are paying for it. You know what? He's not hiding what he does. Again, Coach Greg Adams, it's a business. He's not hiding what he does. He's walking the walk and talking the talk. If you like that, great. If you don't, great. There's so many creators out there that can bring you value. Just doesn't have to be certain ones. There's been tons of great ones. It's a business to most of them. Most people want to get rich off this. I say there's no money in red pill unless you're way up there like Coach Greg Adams isn't red pill. He might have some talking points, but his audience is more blue pill. Pearl ain't gonna marry because the pending divorce scrape will ruin her grift. There you go. It'll break her street cred. There's a photo of CJ in Asia. He's standing on a step to look taller than. I think he's a short guy. I think he's like 5'6", he said. At least he's honest. I watched Darius M when he first started, but I left once he started shaming him followers for not donating. Yeah, a lot of people, guys, your message will get diluted when you start asking for money. I had a guy that donated to me. He sent me a gift card. His name is Greg, and I haven't seen Greg for a while. And he sent me, I think, $150 gift card to a mountain bike. He knew I rode mountain bikes, and he said, "Hey, Brad, I want to send you money." I said, "No." In fact, anybody that wanted to send me money, I said, "No, keep it for yourself. I don't take donations. No. Work on yourself, buy yourself a new bike, a new pair of shoes, and you do that. And then you tell me how you advanced in life." That's what I want to hear, those stories where you overcame a huge cliff. But one day I got in my rebel against defeat at gmail.com. I had a $150 gift card. And I thought, I wrote back. I said, "Dude, I appreciate that, man. That's great. You didn't have to do that, but I'm gonna go buy some. I'm gonna tell you how my new mountain bike tires are gonna work." Now, don't go get any ideas. I'm just saying. Brad, did I tell you got tickets for Triumph? Yes, you did. That sounds fun. RO has balls, but the cone of shame prevents him from licking them. Did you remember back in the 90s there was PUA camps for some? Yes. There's still PUA camps. Archangel, old stuff from Sandman, TFM. Yeah, TFM, wasn't he I think he went to Rumble. It's been fun watching the evolution of Alexander Grayson swallowing the red pill. He's produced some banger videos. I think you mentioned that last time, Carl. Yeah. He's changed a lot. Too much ego, but he's on. Yeah, you got to be. At least he's honest about it. He's not hiding. I appreciate people that are up front, whether you agree with it or not. Do it. I want you to listen to the call live, then return and report. Well, Big John was the guy that really helped me. I liked his delivery, his message, and people bought him cigarettes. People would donate. He'd buy cigars, and he liked his scotch. Glenfiddich. He liked his Glenfiddich and his scotch. And he'd always say, "Thank you for the donation. I got a new cigarette." He wasn't out buying F-150s. It was like, "You guys bought me a cigar." And he'd sit for 45 minutes with the white board of truth. And he would talk about things. I think that's fine. I have no problem. I've donated to several different creators just because, you know what? It was a great message. It helped me. None of them asked for it. Those that start asking for it and selling shit, no. People ask me all the time, "Where do I get this hat?" Go online and buy one for yourself. I don't sell hats. Right? Go find the font that you want and put Rebel Against Defeat. I think this is the Impact font. But you can find any hat that'll do it. It'll cost you probably $35, $40 to do it. But I'm not against people selling hats if people want it. A lot of people have asked me, "Can I have this?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." But I'm not going to go buy it yourself. He's the most banned man. He sure is. Last I checked, Sandman charges only $50 an hour. That's pretty fair. I'm tempted just to talk to the goat. Hey, Sandman, he's got an audience. Him and I did a live stream a couple years ago. He's an OG. I don't care what you say, or he's been around. Legion of Men has come around a lot. I've listened to a few Legion of Men. In fact, he highlighted Scotty's side. Big John, yeah, that ruined that CNN interview with Lisa Ling. Really effed it up. Well said, Brandon. When I meet a woman, she tells me she's single. That's a door that I should just walk into. However, stepping over that threshold is the threshold of hell. John Boston. I think so. TFM said a lot of different things. I mean, Paul Proteus and Barbarossa were saying some great shit back in the day. Good, some great creators, but Stardust. Dude from Eastern Europe, he tried a red pill and PUA, and he's drifting into the black pill. They framed him on that interview, but whatever. At least more people found out about it. And then the whole purge. Remember the whole purge of red pill creators went? Mr. Jones, a black man who I've always liked a lot of the black guy channels. I think they have witnessed female nature much younger than white guys, especially guys my age. A lot of talk about real MGTOW, black pill. At the end of the day, it's all about peace, quiet, and freedom for me. What will bring me the best, the most authentic peace, quiet, and freedom? I don't have an issue with people charging for their time. Our time is all we really got. If people are willing to pay for it, so be it. Yeah. If they want to charge for it, great. There's some people that do and don't. I don't. I've talked to so many guys over the last 6 years, 7 years, since going on 7 years. I say, what I do now is I'll have them send me an email. And based on that email, what they're thinking or, what the challenge is, I will respond, call me on my phone, or we can do a video call. I don't charge 1 cent, or I'll respond in emails. Hey, Rad, what do you think I should do? This is what I think you should do. And I'll respond within 24 hours because I enjoy doing it. I'm giving back, and it's something that I think is valuable. Somebody did that for me back when. So, but if a guy wants to make a business out of it, consult, and if there are people that are willing to pay for it, great. Rad 2.0 and TFM are frequent collaborators. They often appear on each other's live streams and share a very similar cynical or black pill outlook on modern society. Interesting. Sid Vicious. There you go. Spetsnat, rest in peace. Didn't he get hit somewhere? He got hit in the car, right? We weren't shamed as much for not having a so-called nuclear family where I think white men were. We were more shamed for not having bitches. So it hit a little different. There you go. I think a lot of, again, I listened to a lot of Paul Proteus. There was another one too, Replicant Fish. Was it Replicant Fish? I think he's a British black man. But yeah, I don't know. They had a different perspective that I really appreciated. Rad, you have inspired at least 5 content. Well, I think I've only inspired Brandon or Father Saunders. Father and Wes. But you know what? I want every man that is here to start a channel. You never know what will happen. You never know what the algorithm will throw up. And some guy's on a Christmas Eve and depressed as hell because he just got slated in court, and he finds your video, and it starts him on a new path. Jesus is the only one that brings on peace. The kingdom of heaven is within you, right? Barbarossa, Spetsnat, Stardust, and later TFM, Big John, and Paul Proteus. I agree. I appreciate that, Brandon. My intent is and was before the channel got deleted is to simply give back to the community and philosophy that helped change my life for the better. Well said. Well said, Rev. Professor Migta, I remember that. Mr. Forma, Father. Again, there is so much content and good experience in every man that you can help. It's interesting. True Blood's got his group. Shaka's got his group. It's like there are people that you specifically have a flavor that helps people, right? And other flavors help others. It's all about sharing with men. And when I remember started this channel, I hesitated. My very first video, go all the way to Rebel Against Defeat, my original. It just came back a few months ago, 7,000 subscribers. But if you go back to the oldest, I was sitting in my bed. It was my very first bit. I was talking about feminism. I think it's still there. And I had like a bottle of wine or something. So that was my very first one. But I always thought, you know what? If I can share my experience just to help one person, my whole goal was to help one person. And then I would have considered myself successful. Or that I would have felt that I gave something back after the shit show I went through. Wolf, good to see you. Yes, it's when they monkey branch. Yes, they go to the next guy because you can't provide or protect them. I haven't seen Father Saunders for a while. You think he's just chilling? I did not do anything with TFM. Sandman. I've done a collaboration with Terrence Pop, Hammerhand, Sandman, FJT, Dak, Jonathan Noble, the attorney Jonathan Noble. After building Red Pill, my wife and I have a better relationship because I know what she is. I didn't see it before. There you go. Good for you. There you go. Saunders, Wes, Scotty. I love seeing channels blow up with good messages. Gravedigger, good to see you. I'm just a squirrel looking for a nut, Jerome Markel. Wolf used to bang a chick that was a 10, sleeping next to a Bible. Attaboy. Songs of Solomon, right? Hypergamy simply means looking at her smartphone for the next sucker. Dak and Rivers are... They definitely have given a lot of content. I know Dak is monk. Rusty, I mean, he might be monk now, but it is what it is. Find the people that find messages from messengers that make you be a better person. That's it. I don't care who it is. When you try to monetize your content, it changes your messaging because you start paying attention to... Yeah, absolutely. None of my channels have ever been monetized. If you see an ad on my channel, which is very rare, they are out there. And most of the reason none of mine have ads is because I use songs and I always get a copyright. So they can't monetize my videos, which kind of protects me. But if you do see one with an ad, that is not me. That is YouTube using my audience for free. They will jump to the next schlong. Well said. Tom Likas. Blow me up, Tom. Yeah, I don't think Rusty's a monk. And you know what? There's nothing wrong. If you don't want to deal with women, there's nothing wrong with that. We don't care. Great. If that brings you anything that brings you peace, quiet, and freedom is what you should be seeking. Simple as that. There's going to be a lot of streams, especially during the holidays, Sammy. They put ads on mine. They put a couple. The ones where I don't have copyright songs, they'll do that. A lot of them have rosters, so they use one guy for this. Yep. There you go. I know, Dak. So that is the reality. Religious women, be very careful. They hide behind the Bible. whereas a lot of them hide behind the courts and the 3-digit number that you can call and get a false alligator. So be very careful. It doesn't matter what religion. If anything, probably the only religion out there, and I don't even think it's going the same way it once did, would be the Islam religion, where women are more submissive to men, but I don't know if that's the case anymore. I've heard lots of stories that women are very abusive towards their husbands behind the door when they take off their outfit and attire, and only in public when they have to dress a certain way, but they still have cell phones, they still have credit cards to buy things. And does it mean that because that they have a religion insulate them from hypergamy? Nothing insulates a woman from hypergamy. Not religion. That's the whole theme of today's topic. Religion, environment. I mean, I think the only thing, too many men reveal content creator revealing gems about life, females in the world. I think we just share our experience. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't married or gone through what I went through. Infidium, good to see you, brother. Doesn't matter religion, race, color, creed, even if she doesn't or does have tats, females are females. Well said. I mean, I think the only thing, and this is not sure as well, the only thing that would be a green flag for me, and look, I'm not going to the plantation, but if I was 24 today, like my son, and knew about this, and if I still had the desire to have kids and get married and do the whole, white picket fence thing, the green flag I would look for, which I probably won't find, well said, Sammy, is a woman who respects her father, loves her father, honors her father, cherishes her father, and if that father is a real man, and if that wife and mother honored the father, that is the only flag. If I found that, I'd be like, damn, that's a unicorn. But that's not a guarantee either that that woman would not go hypergamy, because her programming was different than her mother, because her mother was obviously in a different generation and she grew up with cell phones and technology. So does that make sense? I'm not saying it's a green flag. I'm just saying that would probably be a better idea than anything else. Eve hid behind a snake coming off as a dove. There you go. The hojab. Who calls him the hojab? Is that Greg Adams? The Taliban. Well, there you go. I shouldn't have said that. I hope I don't get flagged. Well said, Brandon. So a needle in a haystack. Yeah, I mean, how many women today truly respect their father? I mean, even the Amish chicks. Go watch some documentaries on the Amish youth. They're not as innocent as that they were 30, 40 years ago. They all have the curse and nature of Eve. Well said. A lot of them do. And we have the curse of Adam, which is simp. If I had a choice to start all over, I wouldn't. She was all about attention, man. She wanted Adam to eat she wanted to be on the pedestal. She made Adam eat. I've been to Muslim countries and hung out with multiple women there. Be careful, even if you think the woman is better. I'm here to tell you the nature is universal. We don't hate, we understand. Well said. Well said, FJT. And he's right. He's got Muslim chicks that call him on the phone. Go look at his voicemail playlist with all the women. Look what they choose. There you go. Rad. All I'm trying to say is real MGTOW doesn't need a title. Well, I agree. That's like saying, do you go around saying you're alpha? Alpha males don't say they're alpha, right? Or alpha tendency. Alpha influenced men do not go around saying they're alpha. Rich men typically don't go around saying they're rich. So yeah, same sort of philosophy. Them LDS chicks are easy, Rev, and they'll divorce you too. Mine was. Left the plantation years ago, thank God. Understanding and acceptance is such a great thing for men. Acceptance is the key. Most men don't want to accept this. Most blue pill men that watch a lot of different creators don't want to accept this. They don't want to accept that their woman that they just found, is one of these 304s or that has the tendency. No, she's a religious woman. She grew up in a Christian household. She'll never do that. Green flag off through a garden hose. What movie was that in? Good point. How many of us that are fathers do our kids respect us? Yeah, look at my daughter. I hadn't talked to her for 2.5 years. She quit respecting her dad when her mother would not respect the husband, or the wife would not expect. I am a casualty of that, and I tried to lay it down, but you know what? It is what it is. You accept it. See you later, Shaka brother. That's the whole point. Removing the order, removing the dad, the enforcer. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. Never have puked. No. Had some pits in the stomach years ago. My last pit was when the wife filed for divorce 10 years ago. I don't ever want to feel that again. That's not a good feeling. We don't go around saying we're strong and independent, do we? She grew up in Ogden. She's safe. Ogden's got some, let's see. Ogden would be like, she rough. She's a little rough. A lot of Ogden women throw down, Rev. A lot of gorditas in Ogden too. I'm not even going to read that. I have seen in my last 10 years some poon that was not attractive. Some very, very thick, meaty anatomy that wasn't attractive. But I've also seen some very wonderful looking attractive anatomy. A lot of different combinations of poon, that's for sure. Yeah, who's the one guy? I had a beef with that guy. He actually came on my channel. Anthony somebody, he's a Sigma guy. So he's a black guy who runs around with a dog and he's a vegan or something. What's his name, guys? You know who I'm talking about. Anthony somebody. He's got like 400, 500,000 subscribers. I wonder who's done those kind of stats. It'd be interesting, Sammy. But I think most of them divorce. I think Jehovah's Witnesses have a higher marriage rate because they get shamed more. That's not my girl, FJT. She's different, man. She loves me. I buy her stuff and she loves me. It's like that guy at your work that you were telling me about. Genital warts are pretty common now. No thanks. Well said, Trog. A lot of that shit's out there. I remember this gal I was hanging out with years ago, like in 2017. She's like, I just found out I have cancer. And I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, it's down in my privates. And I'm like, you have HPV. That's basically what she's saying. Warts. And I'm like, I'm out. Who is independent? Well said. Your daughter will likely go apoplectic when you pass, and she isn't included in your will. No, she's not. Never once reflecting that it was her and made the decision to excuse herself from your. I've come to it. People say, Rad, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm not sorry. It is what it is. Look, bad blood runs uphill and downhill, sideways, and, a 360. If your parents are toxic, get away from them. If you have sisters, brothers, if your kids are toxic, get away from them. I don't want that. I've accepted it and I moved on. She's not my will. She's not even a beneficiary. My boys are. It looked like a predator's face. Sure. Wasn't attractive. She was good, but the lights needed to be off. Let's all get the J-dubs. Remember, it's only a female who can be stupid without consequence or punishment and will still blame a man. A lot of them like to blame. I mean, there's men that blame too. Okay. To be honest, women will watch this. There are men that are dipshits just like women. And men need to accept where they stand in life and do to become better men. Quit being emotional, quit being mental, quit being blaming, accept responsibility. The guy that accepts responsibility 100%, regardless if it was his fault or not, is a strong man. My high school crush had extra beef on her taco, and I still look at it, but it was weird looking, man. I've seen it. Yeah, it's weird. Mayor, good to see you. Accepting reality is hard, but we must. Well said. 6:00 tomorrow, formal debate structure in the name of civility. Ooh, everybody over to Brandon's stream tomorrow. Lot of infection of feminism, Grave. Girl boss is an effeminate man, yes. It's a big red flag, a girl boss bitch. What do you think about that everyone plans out their life before they get born and that everything happens because it was planned by the person to learn lessons? And interesting. I'm not opposed to that. I am not opposed. I used to believe that we were born out of heaven and we go back to heaven or hell, but now I believe that we've lived multiple lives because energy is never created nor destroyed. So our energy must go somewhere. And this vessel, this container dies, but the internal doesn't. I've always asked Triple or Mr. B, I'll call you Mr. B. If you had to look for yourself within your body, where would it be? Where would your CPU be? Not your brain. Your brain just processes data. But where would you be? Where would you be found in your body? What do you guys think? We'll have to check it out tomorrow, brother. Farrah Fawcett was the go-to. Oh, I liked Farrah Fawcett too. She wasn't pure, man. She died. Didn't she die of butt cancer? Anal cancer is what she died of. That's weird. How do you get, isn't that like colon cancer? They called it anal cancer. You never know, Wolf, but Radis, men can't be stupid without shaming. Well said. I had a family member that passed 20 years ago. His kids treated him really badly. When he passed, they were angry that he didn't leave them any. I'm not leaving her any money. Fuck no. You don't get rewarded to break families up and disrespect. I told my boys that. You disrespect me, you're out too. There was a celebrity couple that are fighting over the estate. I think it's Gene Hackman's kids. I think they treated him like shit, and he knocked him out of the will, and they're trying to get a piece of it. You've never seen a weird one? Just a lot of meat. Just a lot of meat. I'm in the final stages of separating from my entire family because I am the black sheep. Well, peace, quiet, and freedom, man. HPV like Michael Douglas. And didn't Val Kilmer have the same issue? So don't go down. For over 50 years, these females have been castigating men. Ooh, the word castigar. Chastise, shaming. Now men are turning the tables by doing what? Nothing. And they're going crazy. Seraphim, you dirty deed. Oh, Farrah Fawcett, a false idol. I'm not saying her dying is just cause, but when women feel empowered, yeah, she she was throwing down. Wasn't she with Robert Wagner? Dude, I want to say it was Robert Wagner. I don't know. You can't be a MGTOW being Skittles. Ryan O'Neal, that's right, Ryan O'Neal. Ryan O'Neal. Well, and Lee Majors. I remember this $6 billion. I used to watch that show. And remember they had the fembots, the women, the robotic women, they take the face off and there'd be a bunch of metal and circuit boards underneath their face. I was young. I was 9 or 10. I'd get scared by the fembots. There's the real AI girl, the original fembot. Speaking of old TV shows, rest in peace, Buck Rogers. Buck Rogers, Jill Gerard just died this week. Remember Buck Rogers and his little robot Twiggy? And remember Twiggy got a girlfriend in one of the episodes? Another little robot, Twiggy and his girlfriend. Go look it up on YouTube. It's hilarious. Farrah was with Lee Majors. There you go. Well said, Seraphim. Guys, this has been a great stream. I appreciate you being here. I've got to stand up and take a leak now. But we will see you on the next one and catch all of the streams happening. Cuffing season is still here. Mel Blanc was the great voice of Bugs Bunny. Was he the same voice of Yosemite Sam too? Religious or not, they're all females from the snake family. They'll bite your heart out of your ass, says Ed. Good to see you, Ed. Got you in just in time. Fembots from the Westworld. There you go. Westworld was. I liked Westworld. The first 2 seasons. The third was weird. All right, gents. We're good. We'll see you on the next one. And I'm out. Peace.